Now all the players are here. 5, 4. It's also pretty close in the other match. I think it's 19 imps. Fleisher is in the lead. Ooh, you know what I didn't look at? How was the poll? Who did people want? Oh, no one voted. 0 votes in the poll. Everyone was captivated by my declare play, I think. That must have been what happened. People were so engrossed by what I was doing that they didn't have time to vote. Well, if you have a team that you're rooting for, make sure you let me know. Feel free to mention them in the chat. But I think the plan is going to be to stick with this match. Let me check to see that the other stream is watching the other match. Oh, I'm the only one streaming. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Well, we're here for segment 7. We'll be here for segment 8. Maybe we'll be able to catch a tail end of the other match, depending on how fast these tables finish. But we're off. We're off. 1 no trump open in both rooms by the East player. North comes in 2 clubs and a major. In the green room here, Jeff Hampson and Delmonte playing a bit of a different system. Bids 2 hearts and a minor, both showing their 2 suited hands in the balancing seat. Now, in the blue room, Finn was able to bid 3 clubs, and that kind of shut the opponents out. West, with 4-card heart suit, didn't really want to get involved, knowing that their side probably doesn't have a game, so he just sells out to 3 clubs. In the green room here, Ginossar gets to make a takeout double at the 2 level of 2 clubs. Oh, you got buffering? You missed? The other match is very close. I think it's 19 imps for Fleischer. Here, I can just type it. There we go. Both tables do end up in 3 clubs, but in the green room, Declare is going to have a little bit more information. Also, he's playing it from a different side. We get a spade lead at both tables. Not that surprising. You know, West on lead against this auction doesn't want to lead hearts, might not want to lead trumps, and doesn't want to lead away from the ace queen of diamonds, of course. Actually, I can't really tell. Maybe Steve Weinstein did lead a trump at trick 1, but then Bobby Levin switched to a spade. So both declarers are in a bit of a similar boat. Chris Willenken in the green room over here, cashing 2 rounds of spades, and then plays a 3rd one. Declare should be able to just shake his diamond loser now and play on a cross ruff in the green room. Feels like a fairly safe plan to collect at least 9 tricks, and he may well end up with 10, depending on how the play times out. In the blue room, though, the defense has gotten off to a little bit of a better start by pulling 2 rounds of trumps. Now the cross ruff is less favorable for Declare, although the king of hearts does come down. King 3rd. So no large swing on this board. I think both declarers are going to easily be able to collect at least 9 tricks, and possibly even a 10th. Declare taking a diamond finesse, plays a diamond to the jack. Steve Weinstein wins the queen. And I suspect Steve is probably just going to play a spade to his partner's king at this point. figuring that if the heart finesse is needed for Declare, Declare will probably have to take it himself. And that's exactly what he does. A spade goes to the king. Bobby Levin probably wins and returns a spade. Or a diamond. Not really wanting to lead away from the king of hearts, of course. So Jeff Hampson, in the green room, is managing to cross-ref his way to 10 tricks. After maybe a bit of like a match point misstep from Chris Willenken by cashing 2 spades and giving Declare a parking place for his diamond loser, but at imps, Chris was of course trying to defeat the contract, didn't really care about the overtrick. And in the blue room, Finn does have several winners set up in the south hand and is going to be able to cash out the queen of spades and then cross-ref for 9 tricks. So 1 imp to Nickell, not a large swing, but they are going to need some pickups for the Rosenthal team to get back in the match. Lead's currently sitting at 18 imps. On to board 47, and this is a distributional one. North-south appear to have the stuff for 4 spades, but east-west have a big heart fit, and in the green room, east-west have very quickly bid their way to 4 hearts. North, I suspect, is gonna try 4 spades over this, mostly as a 2-way shot. Maybe he's making 4 spades, maybe the opponents are making 4 hearts. There it is. And will that end the auction? I suspect so. East has already decided to turn their 6-card heart suit into a 3-level preempt. He's not going to bid again. West just has a generic balanced hand with a bunch of spade length. He won't bid again. So, the jack of clubs lead might give Declare a bit of a scare for a second. If the opponents can manage club roughs, then he could easily be in trouble. But with the clubs 4-2, he's going to have an easy time just pulling a couple of rounds of trumps and eventually giving up the spade king. The ace of clubs, make his contract from there. Oh, exactly the same auction in the blue room. So both Bobby Levin and Chris Willenken decided to treat their 6-card heart suit as preemptive. A fairly reasonable thing to do. Partner couldn't act over a diamond, and you're white on red, maybe looking for a sacrifice against the opponent's potential 4-spade game is reasonable. Ish is playing quickly. Ish not taking any time to think about what's going on. He gets the ace of hearts lead, doesn't even, yeah, PJ points out exactly what I was wondering, that why is Ish not afraid of a tap? Now, he knows that if he can score 5 spade tricks and 5 diamond tricks, he has 10 tricks in the bag. He's not going to do particularly well at match points with this plan, but at imps, it's perfectly fine to just collect 5 spades, pull trumps, run the diamond suit, never touch clubs. With 9 doubleton of trumps, it works out. I mean, he had ace, queen, jack, 10, 6th. So even if it was king, 9, 4th, he would be fine. If spades were 5-1, Declare is going to get in trouble. But yeah. Another 1-imp swing going the way of Nickell. And these imps will add up over the course of this final segment of play. So Nickell's now going to be holding on to a 19-imp lead. That is if Steve Weinstein elects to continue the King of Hearts here. And he does. So declare is just going to have to ruff, pull the last trump, and then run the 5 diamonds. The opponents will come down to the stiff ace of clubs and a heart and be able to cash the last 2 tricks. I suppose declare can play this one out. I mean, it would be very courteous to just claim your 10, or ask if Steve has a heart remaining. That would be the appropriate question. And it looks like he might have done that. So 19 imps now for Nickell. We move on to board 48. What's going on in the green room? West opens a heart. North comes in 2 clubs. East makes a negative double. South jumps to 4 clubs. I like the 4 club bid. I might have even been tempted by a 5 club bid, but this could be a matter of partnership style. Like if this 2 club bid, white on red, could be kind of a garbage type hand, which Jeff almost has. This 14 count, 5 card suit, 5-3-3-2 is fairly weak. I might have been tempted by a 5 club bid just to try and keep them out of the 4 heart contract that I fully expect them to bid. And preemptively force them into a 5 level decision. But Greco elects for 4 clubs, which has some merit, and then I would say he kind of correctly decides to sell out to 4 hearts. Zach Grossack only bid 4 clubs. then I know that I'm overstepping if I think 5 clubs might be a sensible choice. Again, I mean, it could just be like a stylistic thing. How bad is 5 clubs? Maybe that's an important question to ask. We lose 2 diamonds, a club, a spade, and a heart. We're 500. You could easily be beating 4 hearts. Well, I don't know if easily is the way I would look at it. I think we could be beating 4 hearts. We have an ace, right? And partner made a 2-level overcall. But if partner has a hand where we're beating 4 hearts, maybe 5 clubs has play. And 5 clubs just might have play, right? Like imagine partner has ace, king, 6th of clubs, a stiff diamond, and the king of spades. That's only a 10 count, and we have 2 red suit losers, no club losers, and we just need to hold our spades to 0 losers. I think it's pessimistic to believe that 5 clubs is like a bad bid, but I could be convinced that 4 clubs is the right amount. I do get the kind of strategy that 4 clubs leaves the decision up to partner, and maybe that's what we want to be doing with this hand, right? We give the 4 club preempt, we tell partner that we have some hand that's willing to sacrifice 5 clubs, but we want to let them in on the decision-making process. So that could be very reasonable. In this case, I think 5 clubs would have worked out quite well, because it might, and here's the thing that I believe a lot of people are probably undervaluing. 5 clubs might cause them to bid 5 hearts, and 5 hearts is not making. We just take 2 black aces and we get the trump king. So if we can turn minus 620 into plus 100, that seems like a worthwhile investment on our end. But anyway, let's see what happens in the blue room, because Ginossar here is going to have no trouble whatsoever collecting his 10 tricks. West opens a heart. We get a no trump overcall by Ish. Double by East showing values. He has a 10 count, pretty normal. 2 clubs by South. 2 suited. You play 4 clubs in such situations as, don't worry, partner, I know what to do over 4 hearts. Is that unreasonable? I don't know if any conventional agreement is necessarily like completely unreasonable. My thinking is that, so you're saying you either have a hand where you plan on doubling 4 hearts, right? So you're bidding 4 clubs as like a hope that the opponents will make a mistake and get to 4 hearts, and then you can punish them and collect like 500. Or you're planning on saving 5 clubs. It feels a little weird to me that that would be the agreement, because if you want to save 5 clubs over 4 hearts, oh, it looks like the official Boo graph is showing the same tables. Okay. I mean, I don't care, but I figure that some viewers, if they wanted to watch one particular match, we may as well show both of them. So let's let's head over to the other match. Okay, we have Lebowitz and Fleischer now. We're in. It is 32 imps. So Fleischer has a big lead, which means we might see some swings. Did I finish my thought? Yeah, my thought was basically like, if you plan on preempting 5 clubs, I think you should do it right away. I believe that you're losing out on this possibility that the opponents might just bid 5 over 5 and you win a huge swing. So I wouldn't recommend that agreement that 4 clubs is, or some sort of preempt 1 below what you plan on saving is like, I know what to do, I'm captain. But it's probably okay. My feeling is that like bidding judgment is useful, bidding system is not very useful. We have Mad Zach and Mad Zia. Or is it just Mad Zach and Zia? Yeah, both sitting at the same table. We saw this configuration yesterday, I think, in this match, but Zach and Michael were flipped. That's another interesting point, seating rights-wise, that you're required to choose your chair. So even if, for example, Jeff Meckstroth and Zia Mahmood prefer to play against this pair, maybe Zia prefers to sit after Zach, which I know I've vastly preferred. I don't know, I'm giving away all the secrets, but as an operator, you want to sit after the opponent's operator, if your opponents have one. Because you want to see what crazy things they do before you have to make a decision, rather than the other way around. So it's very possible that Zia was like, I want to sit against them, and I want to sit immediately after Zach Grossack in the auction. Okay. Well, it's still 32 imps for Fleischer, and looks like they're speeding through the match pretty quickly. What's going on in the green room? We got a club opener, 2 clubs, inverted, 2 no trump by South, 3 diamonds, artificial slam trine clubs. That's a nice sort of agreement to have. Now you can investigate whether or not slam is worthwhile and still probably stop in 3 no trump. I wonder what Michael's going to do over this, because 6 clubs is not a bad spot, and I think they have to bid it. They know the state of the match, right? What swings have already happened? Ooh, yikes. Fleischer has already picked up 13 in this room. Or, sorry, Fleischer has picked up 13 in the other room. So it's possible that Zach and Michael don't believe they're behind by as much. But regardless, I think once they have this sort of conventional gadget where they can find show a slam trine clubs, on these hands facing each other, they would absolutely want to get to slam. And 6 clubs is a great spot, right? If the ace of diamonds is on side, you can throw your heart loser. If the ace of diamonds isn't on side, you can still guess the queen of hearts. So I wonder how they're going to approach this. Michael's hand is kind of garbage, but there are a couple of nice features that I would, draw your attention to. First off, he has 14 highs, and he might have only had 11 to have opened the bidding. Second, he does have a 4th trump, which is nice. That last club could be helpful. And he has this doubleton spade. And for all of those reasons, despite having 0 key cards in his hand, he makes a bid that looks like he's accepting a slam try. 4 clubs. So I think that's just excellent bidding judgment by Michael. And could be, additionally, this whole state of the match consideration. That they need a pickup and they have this conventional gadget, which is probably useful. And here by Zach, we see, I think, a really excellent bid for hearts. He's saying, he already said he has slam try and clubs. Michael said, okay, I'm willing to cooperate a little bit. Zach bids 4 hearts, presumably to specifically ask about a diamond control. And now Michael tries 4-no, which Zach has taken his key card. I wonder if Michael is going to read this the same way. I'm not convinced 4-no should be key card. Because I expect 4 diamonds would have been key card by Zach. I don't know, how do people handle... I should change my title as well, now that we were watching the other match. Fleisher... Lebowitz. Done. Now people can know. Well, maybe Michael interpreted it correctly. So 5 clubs, 1 or 4, he bid 6 clubs. I think this is an excellent auction and may well pick up some imps for their side. Should make. What is Meckstroth going to lead? I think once we see the opening lead, we can pretty comfortably believe that Michael will find some plan to take 12 tricks. Like I said, we try the diamond hook first, and if that works, then we don't even need the heart finesse. Otherwise, we can take the heart finesse against whoever we believe might have longer hearts. 4 hearts would have been kicked back for you, and 4 diamonds is what? Just a cubid? I think it's pretty common to play 4 of the minor plus 1 as key card. No kickback. Ooh. So 4-no is always key card. That's a safe agreement to have, certainly. Kicking back on kickback, cutting back on kickback. All right, I'm interested in jumping over to the blue room. Oh, a diamond to the ace is going to make Declare's life just very, very simple in 6 clubs. So we got a precision club opener by Joe Grue, 1-no showing 5 spades, and 8-11. Brad kind of shaving a little bit with an ace and king. 2 club relay, 3 diamonds, showing 6-2, 3-2 in the minors, so a bit of bidding back and forth, and they get to 4 spades. Oh, 4 diamonds, kickback, 4 hearts, Q. Yeah. That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. But I was curious about the 4-no bid specifically. I wonder if that 4-no bid by most people is key card, or if that 4-no bid is just like natural and kind of rejecting. Either way, excellent auction by Michael and Zach to reach a good 6 club slam, and then the play was pretty straightforward. So Joe Grue and Brad Moss will have their work cut out for them if they want to duplicate that result, but they do have about 30 imps to play with. 4 spades is coming home in this room, and the question is just going to be how many extra tricks will Declare get. It looks like the heart's set up for 2 club discards, and Declare will come to 12 tricks. So that'll be another imp for Fleisher, who is just chipping away. The kickback is foolproof, and we have some... Now we're just stringing words together. This is like an ad lib where people ask you for like a verb and another verb, and then you just see what sentence it produces. All right, we'll keep an eye on the auction in the blue room on board 50 because that was the 6 club slam we just witnessed, but let's quickly take a look at what's going on in the green room. South opens a club, a natural, North bids a spade, and South has a big hand, maybe not big enough to reverse to 2 diamonds, but Michael's thinking about it. I don't really like 3 clubs as the choice by South. The club suit is a little too weak. So I think Michael's trying to decide between 2 clubs and 2 diamonds. King Doubleton of Spades has become much better now that partner has bypassed the heart suit. Because if partner does have 4 hearts, then they have at least 5 spades. I don't know. I would be tempted by a 2 diamond bid. The thing about 2 clubs is my hand is just way too good. Right? If I'm going to be opening a lot of 11s, then this 15 count with 6-4 and a bunch of aces and kings is much, much too strong, right? I could have the same hand without the spade king and still open at 1 club and rebid 2 clubs, unless you open 1 no, right? If you open 1 no, it's going to be much easier. It might be tough to reach 6 clubs if you open a no trump. But I suppose 6 no is making, right? You could open 1 no, your partner bids 4 no quantitative, and you bid 6 no, and it's just, bridge is such an easy game. Michael elects to bid 2 diamonds. Oh, okay, I said we were going to keep an eye on the blue room, and over here Joe Grue and Brad Moss have stopped in 3 no trump, so this is going to be a well-deserved swing for Lebowitz. Well, after Michael's reverse, Zach bids 3 clubs, game forcing. Zach could have done something, either 2 hearts or 2 no trump, depending on their conventional agreements, would have been the only non-game forcing bid. So 3 clubs is natural, they have a club fit. Zach has an okay hand after a reverse. We'll put it that way. I mean, ace, king in the majors is nice-ish. You might still have 1 loser there. Queen, jack, third of clubs is actually incredible, but the 3 small diamonds is probably the biggest concern for me. That you might just be off 2 top diamonds, or maybe you're off like the king, queen, jack of diamonds, and partner has like ace fourth, and you have no place to park them. It's not as if you have a long suit of your own that you can rough out in a club contract that will set up for diamond pitches. Yeah, he has 14. He could have 0. He might have bid differently a little bit earlier in the auction. So after Zach's 3 clubs, Michael bids 3 diamonds. My thinking is that this is just some sort of temporizing bid. I would believe that this is like 6-5. But Obviously, that's not what Michael has. He's just trying to mark time to figure out whether 3-no or 5 clubs is the right spot. So he bids 3 diamonds, partner bids 3 hearts. He bids 3 spades, and his partner bids 4 clubs. And this is the first indication that Zach actually has substantial extras in the auction, at least from Michael's perspective. So Zach bids 3 hearts, clearly indicating that he has hearts well controlled. Michael bids 3 spades. Again, I think it's just marking time. He's basically, ever since he reversed, he's just been trying to put the brakes on. His hand is very, very bad for a reverse. And so he wants to make partner intimately aware of that knowledge. So he was hoping for a 3-no bid, which he was planning on passing from his partner, but now over 4 clubs, he feels obligated to do something. He tries 4 hearts, and we have once again another Michael fails to bid key, or one of them fails to bid key card, 4 diamonds, and the other one does bid 4 no trump. This should be enough info to get Zach to vault into the 6 club slam, which, I mean, obviously he's going to do. There's nowhere else to go over 5 hearts other than 6 clubs. So he's found out that they are off a key card. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, Zach just doing Zach things now. This isn't good. He knows they're off a key card, but I think he's hoping that key card is the club king, and still believing that they're down a sizable chunk of imps. He is deciding to look for 7. Michael's taking some time. I wonder if he bids 6 no, right? He has 2 kings outside of clubs. No, wait. Okay, that's not what Michael's thinking about. Michael's bidding 7 clubs. Yeah, sorry, if only the ace of trumps was on side, we would have made the slam. The thing is, it's not even as if Zach has a guaranteed... Zach Grossack called the TD. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure what Michael was thinking about, well, we don't know what's going on. We'll hopefully get some clarity as to what happens soon. But Michael, upon hearing that his partner has all the key cards, doesn't really need much to make 7 clubs. I think Michael should just bid 7 clubs over 5 no. There it is. Okay. Well, whoops. Yikes. That's going to put a stop to Lebowitz's run in terms of coming back in the match. I mean, they're definitely going to lose something on this board because Joe Grue and Brad Moss will not have a keycard accident. I don't believe that Zach miscounted keycards. I think he legitimately just wanted to bid 7 if they were off to Club King. But I could be wrong. Anyway, this is not going to be a fun hand. Declare is going to have to play a spade to the ace and take the club hook. Yeah, sad trombone. It is worth noting that he can afford to not try and cash the ace king of hearts immediately to pitch his diamond losers, but king of clubs lead? I don't, not quite. Not quite. Meckstroth was able to avoid that one. He didn't misclick. You know, maybe a good strategy for Meckstroth would have been to lead the card in his hand that is furthest away from the king of clubs so that he didn't actually accidentally make a lead that gave up the contract. All right, one down. And let's head on over to the blue room where Joe Grue and Brad Moss are having a precision auction, which means I think very, very quickly they're going to be able to find out that 6 clubs is the right spot. So how did this start? A club, a heart, artificial, 12 or more high card points, a spade asking, 2 clubs, balanced, could have a 5-card suit, or 6 clubs apparently. I think South believes the 6 cards club possibility is unlikely. So South is just relaying to ask for information. 2 hearts shows spades. 2 no trump shows exactly this distribution. 3 clubs is an asking. 3 spades is 9ZZ. 9ZZ? Does Joe want to go to sleep? I can't tell. 9ZZ. I have no idea what that could represent. 9 something. We'll figure it out soon enough. Z points? What is a Z point? Ace is 3, king is 2, queen is 1? Yeah, czar points I've heard of, but what is czar points? I don't think this is 9 of them. I thought czar points were like more than the standard 4, 3, 2, 1 thing. Right. Well, my explanation is Joe's just tired. He wants to go to bed. Yeah, ace is 6, king is 4, queen is 2, jack is 1. Right. It's about opening weak distributional hands. Well, regardless of what's happening, Joe... I can't tell what 9ZZ is. My suspicion is it's something about like aces, kings, and queens. But Brad does bid 6 clubs, and that's going to be a pretty large swing for Fleisher, who's running away with the match a little bit. Yeah, that was my thought. 3, 2, 1. 2 aces, 1 king, and 1 queen. I think North-South have to bid for spades on board 52, looking over at the green room. I suspect we're going to see a nice little safety play here by Brad Moss in this room. I expect him to lead a low club out of hand. He can then pick up a 4-0 club split in either direction. Maybe if he's really worried about the diamonds being 5-1, he could do something like ace of clubs and a club. He'll give up on 4-0 club splits, but at least he'll make whenever clubs are 2-2. So, don't know what he's going to end up doing, but as we can see, there's no real risk in this 6 club contract. Interesting choice by Michael Rosenberg to play in 3 no trump on this hand. A heart pass, he balanced with 2 spades. Pretty normal thing to do. This two-spade balance doesn't show a preempt. If you just had a preemptive hand, you would pass out a heart. So this is like an intermediate 2 overcall, which he's got. But then when Zach elects to bid 3 hearts as some sort of limit raise, he tries 3 no trump. And that's definitely going to be a state of the match consideration thing, because with a singleton club, I would expect most players to elect for 4 spades rather than 3 no. We get the queen of diamonds lead. How does this contract look? Entries are very difficult. I mean, on the surface, Declare has like 5 spades, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and even a heart. But how do you get to all them? Like, if you win the ace of diamonds at trick 1, you play a spade to the 10. That's probably the right plan. It looks like we did see Brad Moss be a little scared about the potential of a 5-1 diamond split. So he did go ace of clubs club, and he was prepared to concede the contract if clubs were 4-0. But there was no risk whatsoever on this hand. So what's going to happen in the blue room in the auction? We get the same hard opening bid. Joe's going to pass. I expect East to pass, but I think some players might bid, kind of on the same premise as to why would we open 11 counts. If we pass out the hand, it makes it much easier for the opponents to come into the auction. If we bid a no trump, we might get too high, but it could also keep the opponents out of a game. So a heart, pass, 2 spades. We'll see if Joe elects to make the same 3-heart bid, or if he tries something else. Maybe he's just going to elect to make a more gentle 3-spade raise as a bit of courtesy, allowing for his partner to have kind of a weaker hand than he actually holds. Or he could just do that. He could just blast 4 spades. Also pretty reasonable. So how's 4 spades going to do? Taking a look in the green room, Michael Rosenberg has gone with this line of play, win the ace of diamonds, spade to the 10. I suspect his plan is to win the second round of diamonds, run the spade suit, unblock the club king, and just lead a heart towards the queen, hoping that the opponents can't run enough diamond tricks to beat him. So it looks like 3-0 is gonna make. And 4 spades probably should make, but is going to have some issues. Although, with all the suits splitting well, maybe there's not much the defense is going to be able to do. They can get a heart ruff if Joel leads the ace of hearts, but then Declare can pitch as a diamond loser on the ace of clubs. End up losing a heart ruff, and the ace of spades. That will make Declare's life a little bit easier. He won't need to take a spade finesse. Probably not going to be much of a swing at all. At least that's my thought. I would expect Brad Moss to make 4 spades, and it looks like Michael is well on his way to 9 or maybe even 10 tricks and no trump, depending on how the defense goes. So Fleisher ahead by 25. Fairly large lead with only, after this hand, 8 boards to play, as we see Joel Wooldridge in the blue room leading the ace of hearts, hoping that his partner can get 2 heart ruffs. That's a very sensible plan, right? We're playing imps. He just needs to find a reasonable layout of the cards where he can get 4 defensive tricks, and he figures if his partner has a stiff heart, can go ace of hearts, heart ruff, spade to the ace, heart ruff. But it's not to be this time. I wonder if Brad is going to unblock the club king, go to dummy's ace of diamonds, and then pitch a heart on the ace of clubs. That probably doesn't make any sense. Ignore me. There's no reason to take that line. But it would be funny. It doesn't really cost him anything. It probably throws some confusion into the opponent's defense. Because now when the Queen of Hearts is led, East can ruff, in which case Declare can pitch his diamond loser, or he can over ruff. I guess it doesn't really matter. But we might see Brad just lead the king of spades out of hand immediately, or the queen of spades. We might see him unblock the club king, cross to dummy, and like pitch a diamond loser on the ace of clubs. I mean, maybe just because it's funny, he pitches the heart on the ace of clubs and then leads the queen of hearts. I still don't really see what that accomplishes, but it would be one possibility. And in the green room, Michael is well on his way to making his contract. Again, he should just be able to cash out the spades, pitching a diamond and 2 clubs from the dummy maybe, and then lead a low heart towards the queen. With the heart opener on his left, he should be fairly confident that Meckstroth has the heart ace. I mean, I suppose he could like lead the king of hearts out of hand after running 3 more rounds of spades if he wanted to be very safe. But I suspect that he will just lead a low heart to the queen. Brad Moss still in the think tank. What do we do at trick 3? He doesn't know that the contract is completely safe, right? He probably suspects that, oh, if they get a heart ruff, then maybe I'm going to end up losing 2 spades and a heart ruff from here and go down. But with Jack third of spades on side, there's never really going to be any problem for the defense, or for Declare. Now, a heart even ruffed with the Jack of spades, Grainger being a good sport, just letting Declare know that that everything was coming home. So now he gets to claim his 10 tricks, just pulling the trumps. Michael gets to lead a low heart up towards the queen, accessing that stranded ace of clubs in the dummy. So he's got 8 tricks in, can cash the club ace, and collect a 9th trick, and then the king of diamonds will represent a 10th trick, and east-west will have the remainder. No swing on this board, so the lead's still at 25 imps. And oh my god, we have a big hand over here from west. Although, Doesn't fit particularly well with East cards. So what's going to end up happening? Pass. Brad Moss opens a diamond. Joel Wooldridge elects to overcall a spade, not 2 clubs. So he's bidding his major suit rather than his longer suit. A difficult decision. I understand the temptation to bid spades, because if the opponents have a heart fit, which is kind of what you're expecting, right, as West, is that the opponents have a heart fit, 4 spades is going to be your better chance at collecting a plus score than 5 clubs. 5 clubs might be a good save, but you're probably not going plus 400. Whereas 4 spades, you could easily have 10 tricks, or more easily have 10 tricks. But Joel just overcalls a spade and then sells out to the opponent's auction. I mean, South has showed a very good hand, quite reasonably so. That Joel was a little afraid of trying 3 clubs. He now knows that his partner has a long heart suit, right? There was a negative double, South bid 2 no trump rather than 3 hearts. I noticed that there's a 2 diamond preempt in the green room. I just want to finish my thoughts on this 3 no contract. How is Declare going to do? They have the ace of clubs, 3 hearts, 2 spades can be set up by force. But of course, Declare will be going after the diamond suit. And I mean, it looks like Declare has all the time in the world to set up diamonds. Like, West can't comfortably continue the club suit. That will allow Declare to hook the 10. West can't comfortably continue the spade suit because that will let Declare steal spade trick with the 9 of spades. And West doesn't have any hearts. I mean, I expect Joel to duck this trick. Yeah, not so many entries to play diamonds, but I think my point being that Brad Moss can just like go ace of diamonds, low diamond out of hand. He has so much free time to just set up the diamonds at his leisure. I mean, it's a little scary to choose that line of play, right? If West has king 3rd and East has jack doubleton, then East gets in, puts a spade through, and then West just sits back and waits for the king of diamonds before cashing the spade ace, and he would be down 1. Okay. Declare has some trouble. I expect we'll see Joel duck this trick, the queen of spades, but let's look at what happened in the other room, because I just noticed that we had the auction pass by North, 2 diamonds by East, multi, week 2. Yeah, double dummy, it's very easy. Declare can just duck out the king doubleton of diamonds. I was thinking that it would be easy single dummy as well, but I suppose I'm losing a lot of tricks if I get everything wrong. So the queen of spades does hold, but I do kind of want to look at the multi-auction. So Zia, in 2nd seat, white on red with just a 4 count. He had the queen doubleton of clubs over here to go with his jack 10 9 6 of hearts and his wonderful jack 3rd of diamonds. Comes up with a 2 diamond preempt, showing a week 2 in a major. Michael Rosenberg, of course, has just this 16 count. Stoppers in both majors, feels kind of obligated to overcall 2 no. Zach Grossack, of course, raises to 3 no. And West comes up with the same club opening lead. Now, we do see a bit of different defense, because at this table, West did not have a spade overcall, which means Zia, after winning the queen of clubs at trick 1, despite this ace 10 of clubs in dummy, obviously representing 2 tricks, just plays back his partner's club suit, which might be very strong defense. West has the ace of spades and king of diamonds as entries. The club suit is going to set up. And so I think Declare is going to go down. He's going to play a diamond to the queen, and this is not going to work out very well for him because Meckstroth now gets in with the diamond king, can set up the clubs, and now he doesn't need to hold on to any of his small spades. There might have been an opportunity for Declare to make this double dummy after this defense. If he tried to just like cash a bunch of heart tricks and squeeze West. But I'm not certain. It's still tough. I guess he probably always could have made it if he ducked out the king doubleton of diamonds. He would come to 4 diamonds, 3 hearts, and 2 rounds of clubs. But unfortunately for him, West has everything. Yeah, double dummy, you can just run the diamond to... I mean, there's a ton of ways to make it double dummy. Not a particularly difficult one. But in this case, maybe good defense by East-West. That kind of is aided by the fact that West had not overcalled in spades, right? West led this club suit, and Zio was quite happy to just set up partners clubs. I think DT is still on the perma-ban list, but thank you. It's always good to check and see if he's here. So 3-0 down 3, not going to be the result that Fleisher or that Lebowitz needs. How is Brad Moss doing in a similar contract? He's in 3-0 and appears to have collected an enormous number of tricks. I wasn't watching. What did he do? It feels like he must have gone ace of diamonds, diamond. You know, maybe a good reason for why Joel should have overcalled his longer suit. If he overcalls in clubs and then leads his 4th best 7 of clubs to partner's queen, maybe Grainger finds the same defense they had at this table. Again, Brad Moss might still have been able to make the contract. The inference that West has most of the high cards might lead him to the conclusion that West is likely to have the diamond king, and he will correctly play the diamonds. But good result for Fleischer. Bad news if you're Lebowitz, because the match is getting a little bit out of hand. I think we're about to see some classic Zach Grossack action take place sometime soon. I don't know about this particular deal, but it's coming. South is less likely to bid 3-0 if you bid 2 clubs. Also a good point. Okay, 2 spades. Gotcha. Here we go. This is the start. A heart, a no trump, 2 spades, artificial game force. I don't think Zach would normally plan on game forcing the north hand. I think he would be quite content just making a normal 3 heart jump. Or, you know, maybe like rebid 2 diamonds or something and raise partners 2 hearts to 3. Something along those lines, because Michael could easily have a fairly weak hand for his 1-no bid. But now he elects to make the game-forcing 2 spade bid. Michael bids 2-no, probably just temporizing. And yep, this is great. Time to start swinging for the fences. Oh, never mind. He has alerted this as 6 hearts choice of games. Fair enough. Way to go, Zach. You're sticking with the system. Maybe this is how the system was designed. Michael knew that Zach loves bidding 3 hearts with his 6-card majors, so he just forced it into the system that now this shows 6 trumps. Okay, Michael also taking a bit of a position with 2 card heart support and a doubleton spade. Tries 3-no. I would be very scared of playing 3-0 on these cards. The lead's coming into me, and the only suit that's useful in is clubs. Like, a diamond through is probably bad news for us. A spade through is probably bad news for us. Yep, here we go. Spade lead. Well, oh, and look at that. Yeah, check this out. In the other room, Joe Grue, able to open a precision club, finding out his partner has no heart fit and not really a game force opposite his minimum precision opener, which is basically what Joe has. Joe just elects to stay low and play in 2 hearts. I think this is going to be a sizable win for their team. It's hard to imagine with literally every finesse being offside. The king of spades is off, the queen of hearts is off, the king of clubs is off. 3-0 is not going to be pretty. Especially with the dummy face-up, Zach's hand face-up on the table. Zio will know, even if Declare elects to duck this spade, he wins the jack, switches to clubs. This is bad news bears. I mean, I'm pretty sure Michael's just going to have to put in the club queen. If a club switch comes, that's not going to work out. Another spade's going to come through. Okay, I suppose one possibility is the queen of hearts is on side and the king of spades is on side. So if we win the queen of spades, we cross to the club ace. Oh, it would have to be queen doubleton of hearts, but then we like lead a heart to the jack. We can have 5 heart tricks, 2 diamonds, and 2 spades. So I guess that's possible. Wait a second. Maybe it's actually not such a terrible contract. If spades are 4-4 and the king is on side, can't I just knock out both the ace queen of hearts? I end up with 4 hearts, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, and a club. Okay, 3-0 is not an awful spot, as I originally thought. I was being seduced by the fact that every finesse is losing. So yeah, maybe Michael should just stick in the queen of spades at trick 1, and that's going to be his most likely route to 9 tricks. It's not even particularly difficult from there. If they don't continue attacking spades, then they won't have set up any spade tricks, and if they do, all you really need is the spade suit to split. It's not like a great contract, but there's at least some play for it. Joe Grue comfortably making 2 hearts in the other room. He got an over trick. And let's see what's happening on board 55 in the blue room while Michael thinks for a while about how to play 3-0. Diamond opener by Joel, 10 count, note. Second seat red, 6-4, just a very normal 1 diamond opening bid. So we started diamond to heart, a spade overcall by South as a passed hand. I'm actually a little surprised that Brad didn't open the South hand. Yeah, South had 11. He is vulnerable. What I have noticed about Joe and Brad's sort of style is that they tend to be hyper-conservative when their side is vulnerable. Kind of regardless about what the opponents are doing. And that could be influenced a little bit. I will quickly note Michael does put in the spade queen. I think that's probably the most sensible plan. A club comes through. He might now have the exact same position where he can stick in the club queen. And again, if the queen of clubs holds, he can maybe try and knock out the hearts on his own, but he's going to be a couple tricks short in this situation. But yeah, what I was saying about Joe and Brad is that I have noticed them. We've done a bunch of kibitzing or commentary for that partnership specifically over the course of the past few months. And they're very happy to play, normal modern bridge, opening all 11s, some 10s, even some 9s and 8s. Like I've seen Joe Grue open an 8 count at the 1 level. Not in third seat, mind you, in like first or second. When not vulnerable, but when vulnerable, they seem to be a bit more conservative. And this hand could probably qualify as one of those things that they might want to pass. 5-3, 3-2, 11. You have a bunch of honors in your short diamond suit, which isn't great. A lot of queens and jacks. So East-West do reach 4 hearts. And after club opening lead, declares spade loser is going to go away. Is that going to be enough for Declare to make the contract? I don't think so. Because Declare won't be able to just pull trumps and set up the diamond suit. Is that true? Yeah, I was thinking Declare probably needs to go after diamonds before pulling trumps. This is going to let South rough in with the heart queen. North is going to get the king of hearts. So this should be down 1. But I guess the defense needs to be a little careful, right? If Brad Moss returns a low heart right now, I guess what I'm saying is the defense can't go heart to the king, heart back. That's what they need to avoid. Now that Declare has worked on setting up the diamond suit, 2 rounds of trumps might just be not good enough as defense. Still, as long as South holds onto the heart queen, I think it's going to be pretty tough for Declare to make this, but we will keep an eye on it. In the green room, Michael Rosenberg has eschewed the club finesse. Looks like he just won the ace of clubs. Not really, I suppose just conceding at this point, deciding that he didn't want to take the club finesse, have that fail, and go down a ton of tricks. If the hearts had come home for 5 tricks, I suppose he would have still been okay. So maybe ace of clubs was fine. He was hoping that West has like queen doubleton of hearts. He did play a heart to the jack. Notably, he didn't lead the 9 of hearts out of hand. That would have looked very silly if West had stiff queen. Then you just set up East's ace 8 fourth for 2 defensive tricks. So very important that Michael led a low heart to the jack with this holding, but the queen was offside, everything was offside. And the defense is going to be able to cash out from here. How many down will this be? This will be 3 down. East-West have 3 tricks in. This is the 4th trick. They get 2 spades and a club. So Meckstroth cashing the king of clubs, good play, just in case his partner was the one with the queen, so that his partner's clued in as to what to do defensively. We'll now put a spade through, and that will be a sizable swing, once again to Fleischer, who I think has made this match mostly out of reach at this point. Should I stick with this match if the match is mostly over? We'll watch a couple more boards, but maybe before the last couple of hands we can head over to the Nickell match if that one looks close. I'm going to quickly check to see the scores in that match and see if that might be a little more exciting. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it particularly close. It's 21 imps is the separation between Nickell and Rosenthal. So Nickell's still hanging on to a bit of a lead there. But okay. We do see Joel Wooldridge going down in 4 hearts on board 55, and let's see if Meckstroth and Zia can do a little better. Obviously, on like a spade opening lead, there's just 4 easy tricks for the defense. Worth noting that both Brad Moss and Michael Rosenberg passed this hand. First seat, equal red. And both Jeff Meckstroth and Joel Wooldridge opened the West hand a diamond. The West hand, of course, despite being 10 high card points, is much, much stronger than the South hand. With 6 cards in one suit, 4 cards in another, all of your honors are working. You don't really have any wasted honors in short suits, for example. So we see a similar start to the auction, a diamond, a heart. South coming in with a spade after passing originally. 2 hearts by West. Will we see North find a spade raise or not? Yes. Yes. Zach bids 2 spades. And I don't think 2 spades is like an automatic bid by North. He has 3 card spade support and an 8 count, right? But his partner's a passed hand. And it's not like he has any extra distribution to speak of. Is there a faster match? Watch the slow match after? Good question. Let me see where they are in the other match. So we're currently on boards 55, 56. The other match is on boards 57 at both tables. I suppose if we want to see the exciting conclusion to that match, we should probably head over there now. Okay, let's follow the play in 4 hearts. And I'm going to take a quick look in the blue room to see if 4 spades is anything exciting. It looks like East-West can make 6 spades. Although the wrong side would be bidding it. Or at least the wrong side for closing the gap between the 2 teams. I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't know. 6 spades has play. East-West in the blue room, with the king of spades on side, the king of hearts on side. But maybe the 5-2 club split would have a bit of difficulty for the defense. But Joel's in 4 spades. He will comfortably make that. We get the same opening club lead against 4 hearts on the exact same auction, in fact. And now Meckstroth, similar to what Joel did, elects to after the diamond suit. He also agrees that just pulling trumps isn't going to give him enough tricks. He needs to set up diamonds. So a diamond. We get the same second hand high play of the king of diamonds from Michael Rosenberg, duplicating all of the actions trick for trick so far. I think this was where I lost the track of the play in the other room, so I don't really recall what happened next, whether Brad Moss continued a diamond or if he switched to a trump. Oh, he leads a low spade. Whoa! Declare insta-ruffs. Was Declare making it if he had run the spade to dummy's king? Or to his own king? Hold on. Hold on. That was a very fast insta-ruff by Zia. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, now he's going down. Now he just has two natural trump losers, even though the opponents were nice enough to set up the diamond suit for him. Huh. I don't know. I think he might have been able to make this. It would have been close, but that extra spade switch kind of gives him a hand entry that he might need to take a heart finesse. Well, gonna be a push board. Let's head over to the other match. Nickell Rosenthal. There is 21 imps separating the two squads. They're pretty close to the end. And, ooh, we do see a... Oh, these are different boards. These are different boards. I was just like, 2 spades in one room and 4 spades in the other. But no, they're on different hands. Four spades is making for Hampson and Greco here, but it looks like east-west for Rosenthal were able to win a small swing, 1 imp, holding the over trick on this board. But with the 9 of spades coming back, Declare is going to be pretty comfortable taking all the rest. And what's going on in the blue room? Board 58, they're in 2 spades. We haven't really followed the entire play so far, but East-West are 3 tricks in. They have a club trick coming and a spade trick coming. This is going to be Declare's last entry to the dummy. Oh, West roughs in. But I was going to say this was going to be Declare's last entry to the dummy. So they might have had to guess the spade suit immediately. It looks like the same is true here. Declare is either going to have to play spades out of hand, and he will have to go ace of spades, queen of spades, or ace of spades, low spade. Guess which doubleton honor Steve is down to. Based on the 2 diamond overcall, maybe we see Finn guess correctly. Lead a low spade, picking up king doubleton, and then he'll have the rest. Could be an important part score swing. The auction in the green room is proceeding the exact same way as in the blue room. Spade opener by Greco in second seat. 2 diamonds, pass, pass. He reopens with a double, takeout, and his partner is gonna bid 2 spades. Note how, like, okay, yes, North-South have this 9-card club fit, and probably would prefer to play in 3 clubs to 2 spades if they knew. But North in both rooms chooses safety over trying to go for a big win. You know that your partner has at least 5 spades. You aren't convinced that your partner has to have a club suit because, you know, similarly, partner could have had the same kind of hand but with hearts instead of clubs. And the whole point of this takeout double is just you're trying to protect your partner if they have a penalty pass, right? You don't want to just be balancing 2 hearts or balancing 3 clubs or, you know, balancing 2 spades, for example, when you have a singleton diamond and you end up being plus 110 or even minus 100, whereas your partner's sitting over here with like 5 diamonds and you could have been plus 500 or plus 800. So this takeout double is pretty standard, and the fact that Jeff Hampson doesn't bid his 5-card club suit and instead preferences 2 spades is pretty common as well. But, oh, over here in the blue room, Kolesnik has misguessed the spade suit. Leads the queen of spades out and goes down one. That could be a big deal. But let's follow the play in the green room to see if we're going to get a swing. So we get the ace of diamonds lead. And then what? It doesn't make a lot of sense for West to continue diamonds for a couple of reasons. One, if his partner has a diamond singleton, he's going to get in with the king of spades, and he'll be able to then go king of diamonds, diamond rough. But secondly, if his partner doesn't have a singleton diamond, oh, I say this, and yet here we are, king of diamonds continuation. What I was going to say is, like, if his partner doesn't have a singleton diamond, Declarer 100% has a loser to throw on this third round of the suit. He doesn't have to overruff. And so you're not really compromising Declarer's trump holding by choosing this line of play. Like, I'm pretty sure I would just ditch the 8 of hearts here very happily as Declarer. No reason to overruff this. I don't even know what he's thinking about. This tank is incredibly concerning to me. Like, if we overruff this and lead a low spade to the 9 and it holds and play a spade back and East shows out, essentially meaning that West started with king 4th of spades, we're just getting tapped out. So you can't do that. You can't, guys, come on! I'm not dumb. You can't, oh, what is he doing? This is insane, right? That's a pairs play? Is it, though? Oh, I see. You're suggesting that, like, if we can pull trumps and then run the club suit, we can ditch a heart loser and make an overtrig. Fair. Very fair. But, like, but also, like, guys, come on. You can't do this. So, like, what is Greco's plan now, right? The 9 of spades is 1. If West has all of the remaining trumps, granted, like, that would give him 6 diamonds and 4 spades, but very possible. There's nothing saying that West has to have short spades just because he overcalled 2 diamonds. We can't play another trump, right? So now we have to set up the club suit, and then West roughs in. I don't know. This is very suspect to me, this whole over-roughing the jack of spades. I wonder if Greco is now regretting all of his life choices. Like, we could have just pitched a heart and claimed. I mean, not exactly claimed. Maybe clubs were 4-0 and East could have given partner a club rough. But, like, honestly, I would pay off to that as, oh, what is this? Now we're playing hearts? This line of play is a nightmare. Oh, you're right. Let's head out, because I think you don't understand the bidding in the blue room. Okay, good point. Let's get there. Let's head over. We'll leave Greco to his own demise. 1 no in the north. I didn't see Ish's hand, but did Ish psych a no trump? It looks like Ish psyched a no trump. Pass, a no trump. Pass, 2 hearts majors, pass, and south doubles. No, he didn't psych a no trump? He had 13. Okay, gotcha. So pass, 2 hearts was majors, and double was takeout. And Ish, therefore, with heart length, decided to pass. I don't know. That seems reasonable to me. Is that not what happened? I think that's what happened. How is 2 hearts doing? They have... So the defense has taken 2 trump tricks already. This diamond switch, I think, is maybe bad news for the defense, because now Declare can ruff a spade in the dummy. Yeah, this lets it make, right? Ish needed to play another trump. I mean, a trump switch feels fairly automatic. Or trump continuation feels fairly automatic. Whoopsies. Yeah, Declare has, I mean, probably thanked his opponents for their friendly play. Cashes the diamond ace, and now just goes ace, king of spades, spade ruff, club to the ace. Queen, 7 of hearts are both high. Yikes. I think Declare should have cashed the ace of clubs before playing this spade, but it probably doesn't matter much. So the spade's ruffed. Now we do get to collect our club trick. And pull a round of trumps. The trumps don't break. We can concede the rest, but that's still going to be... Oh, wait. No. Did I miss something? This is only 7 tricks. I must have miscounted. I absolutely must have miscounted. Ace, king of hearts. So East-West took 2 spades, a spade ruff, 2 hearts, the ace of diamonds, ace of... Oh, it's only 7. Well, at least Ish didn't let the contract through. Yes, it could have been down 2 if he had prevented the spade ruff. And absolutely should have been down 2 if he had prevented the spade ruff. But thankfully, at least for Ish, he didn't let the contract make. Now, in this green room on the same board, North-South are comfortably playing a no-trump. He needed to keep the ace of clubs to get back to draw trumps, but after drawing trumps, he just conceded the rest of the tricks, and all of his trumps were high. It wasn't like he was actually able to set up his 5th spade. So I might have been concerned that the ace of clubs would get ruffed. Because North is showing out on the 3rd round of spades. But anyway, it probably didn't matter. I think it's unlikely to have changed his result either way, cashing the ace of clubs versus not. So 1-no appears to be a fairly comfortable contract, North-South. I actually expect Nickell to pick up imps on this hand. Pretty natural to win the queen of clubs, pretty natural to immediately lead a diamond to the 10. Ish opening on 9. Opening, you mean overcalling? So board 60, last board of the match. A club, a heart, pass, and no trump. I wasn't really paying attention to whether or not East-West make 3-no, but I strongly suspect that if East-West are making 3-no, they're very happy to be defending 1-no trump vulnerable. So let's see what's going on this hand. North-South have approximately 2 tricks total. They've collected one trick somewhere along the way, and they're going to get another spade trick. East-west. Oh, this is just classic Steve Weinstein right now. Like, he could just take the ace of spades. Okay, I was going to say he's, like, trying to count out how to squeeze north in the red suits. Because he probably has a very, very good sense of exactly what the hand looks like. But I was thinking he could just, like, win the ace of spades and start running clubs and then get a bit more information, even though that could fail to set up the squeeze for later in the play. Well, Bobby Levin wasn't interested in squeezing anyone. He pitched his heart threat. I think if Steve was able to con north into cashing 2 rounds of spades, the squeeze would work, and we would hold north-south to 3 tricks on defense, scoring plus 400. But it looks like at this point, north-south will come to an extra trick in the endgame somehow. Either the queen-jack of hearts will set up, or that king of diamonds will set up. So there it is. Heart over to the king. Now Steve Weinstein just gets to comfortably exit to North's hand and score 2 diamonds in the end. For 3 down, plus 300. Not a terrible result, even if their side has a game. And that's probably going to wrap up the match. Not a large enough swing on the last 2 boards for Rosenthal to come back. Sadly, we will stick with this just to see what happens on board 60 in the green room. But play has concluded in the blue room, so Nickell's very likely to be moving on, and they will be up against probably Fleisher. Let's quickly, I'm gonna off screen take a look at the other room, which is on board 58 and 59. Fleischer is still well ahead of Lebowitz, but we can head over there in just a minute to catch the last couple of boards of action. So we will see Nickell and Fleischer. I think those were the 1 and 2 seeds overall in the event. Playing in the finals starting tomorrow. Last board to play here. 20 imps is the current margin. They're going to need to pick up, how many is that? Is that like 2,500 points? Somewhere in that vicinity? Hey, Vikitsa. You think Lebowitz was the number 2 seed? Oh, Lebowitz got a bye. Okay. So Fleischer must have been the number 3 seed then. Got it. How is Lebowitz the number 2 seed? Oh, you know what it is? Lebowitz has... Oh, no, they don't. I was going to say Lebowitz has Finn and Ish, who just won one of the big team events. The way seeding works in the US team trials is it's based heavily around your past performances in these events, but also based on NABC finishes in big team events. So Finn and Ish had a bunch of seeding points coming in because they recently did very well in whatever it was, the Spin Gold or Vanderbilt or something. So I wonder who on Lebowitz has done well recently. Or maybe Lebowitz did well in the previous trials last year. suppose I could check that. All right, 2 no bid in this room, 1 no south. Not going to be enough to pick up 20 imps. Let's quickly head over to Fleisher Lebowitz. Fleisher was 3, Rosenthal was 4, I guess. Got it. More imps to Nickell. So they were Nickell was the ones defending 1 no. Right. Levin and Weinstein were... Weinstein, the complete fish, didn't try and squeeze his opponents for an extra under trick in 1 no trump vulnerable, and only collected plus 300, but still wins a sizable swing. So what's happening on board 58? Oh, everyone's getting to this 2 spade contract on the exact same auction. This is not that surprising, but I think this might be an instructive point if you're not familiar with this whole concept of like protecting your partner's possible penalty. That south makes the takeout double, and then north is the one that you should be focused on. North had this 5-card club suit, but you have a known at least 5-2 spade fit. It is much safer to just bid 2 spades rather than potentially ending up in like a 5-2 club fit at a higher level. So, is this both for USA 1 and USA 2? No. USA 1 was decided last year at this same event, and that is Gavin Wolpert's team with Cran and Vince, Kevin Bathurst and John Hurd, and Warren Spector. So Team Spectre is USA 1, and then we wait a full year to play for USA 2. So this is the match for USA 2. Oh my god, look what happened. Did we just see someone pitch their heart loser on the 3rd round of diamonds? Could that be what happened? Blue room made 2 diamonds. East-west. Wait, is making 2 diamonds surprising? Did I miss something? You have east-west. I mean, it looks like you had 5 diamonds, 2 hearts, and a spade. That seems like 8 tricks. Maybe you're referencing something else, but yeah, 2 diamonds making 2. Oh, maybe you're referencing that like someone didn't balance double as south. Well, that feels like a mistake. Maybe even a mistake and a half. Whoopsies. Who was that? Oh, Brad Moss. Brad Moss. That deserves a finger wag. No. You gotta protect partner in these situations. Well, this match is wrapping up. Yeah, South didn't make the takeout double. Oopsies. So small part score swing headed towards Lebowitz. And very last board, Wooldridge and Grainger get to 3-0. Maybe some sort of state of the match consideration where Joel is opening this 18 count 2-0 trump. I mean, it's honestly pretty close to like a 20 to 21 balanced. No jacks, decent 5-card suit, some filling spot cards. Maybe he would do this even if they weren't down by a sizable margin, but I think being so far behind, 2-0 trump makes a ton of sense. If you're going to swing, you may as well swing for the largest imp. How badly do I think Joel thinks they're down? I haven't been following some of the results from the set. Let me quickly peek at the scorecard. So they came in behind by about 20. And I'm guessing Joel probably thinks it's about 40 right now. Maybe more, but at least 40. Which unfortunately isn't really helpful. The problem is that, you want to have some sense of what's going on in the match, but if you believe you're down 40 with one board to play, you're not really playing for much. You just kind of have to play your normal game and hope that things have gone differently in the other room that you might expect. You believe most of the flailing has been in the green room. Yeah, very possible. I think that would be a sensible conclusion, just generally. So I've had talks with some of my teammates about this in the past, and I don't think there's a set belief as to what, who should be swinging or how much you should swing. But the way that I had done it in the past was I tend to be an operator, and so my partnership was the ones that were asked to swing if we were down by a substantial margin, and the other room was just like, we're going to play normal bridge. And so we're just going to sit here and try and take normal actions, and we're not going to swing at all. Like, even if we have a hand where it's just like, oh, we could preempt 3 diamonds on this one with a 5-card suit, and it looks like it might be a good decision, they'll just pass and leave one of the pairs to do something normal. Like, if both pairs tend to swing, the reason why swingy actions are anti-percentage is, swinging actions are anti-percentage, right? Like, people don't do all of this crazy stuff normally, other than Zach Grossack, who just hemorrhages imps all over the place, like every hand he plays. You're going to lose in the long run. So you don't want to generate as much randomness as possible. You just want a small amount of randomness that might work out in the couple of specific cases that you use it. So like having 2 rooms swinging wildly for the fences is not effective. Can you have a partnership agreement that only one of you will swing? Of course, of course. I don't know about partnership agreement, right? Like, so it's like, it's well known. I don't know if well known is the way that I would put it. But like for my partnerships, it was like fairly well known that I don't do the normal thing a lot. And so my partners would like take that into consideration, right? It would affect like some of their bidding judgment and other decision making. But they were mostly just asked to like sit in their chair and take normal bids. And yeah, it's not an agreement. It's just like, I'm trying to use my judgment, but I read deeply into a lot of positions that other bridge players don't. And so that's, I guess it's like a style, you could say. So my partners kind of were aware that if we were asked to swing, I would probably be doing most of it. But I don't think it's like, it's probably not okay in the ACBL at least to have a specific partnership agreement that is completely undisclosed to the opponents, that one of you is going to do crazy things and the other one's not. I don't know. It's a weird subject. It's borderline in one of those like shady areas where you can get away with breaking or bending the rules as they're written. Like the ACBL rules are just like general rules of bridge, and not get penalized for it. And this is a position where you could probably take advantage of it. So depending on how ethical you are as a bridge player, you might be able to get away with stuff and exploit the system, or you could be very generous in your explanations and let the opponents in on, you know, how you tend to play. Three diamonds in the north. So the other room played in 2 spades on board 59. Ooh, this table is finished. Let's get to just the one table that we have left. Declare is going to need to guess the jack of diamonds, and he has so far. I guess there was a bunch of bidding. He probably has a good sense of what's going on. Okay, this really tickles me. Meckstroth alerts his double as Mekwell. Maybe he should just write Meckstroth on all of his bids from now on. I'm pretty sure that Zia has been forced to learn the entire Mekwell precision system, but it's very amusing that Meckstroth himself is just alerting this as Mekwell, because normally you would actually give a real explanation of what the bid means. In this case, I'm kind of with him that double shows a bunch of different hand types, and it's much more convenient to just say Mekwell rather than one minor or both majors or a strong hand. But that's what he's got. One minor or both majors or a strong hand. So, sounds like he has both majors. Declare guessed the diamond suit, which does not mean the hand is over. Can I move my face to the left side of the screen? I can. Oh yeah, that's like a lot better in the single view. There we go. Thank you. The face is on the left now. Now I'm over here. Oh, Mech and Zia are not playing precision. Right. Mech was playing with Papa Burke. Not Papa Burke that we know, but Papa Burke that I know. Berkowitz, David Berkowitz. So David had been complaining a lot about the precision system, at least what I heard. But I guess Zia has not been doing that. Strong play by whoever's declaring this hand, 3 diamonds, Zach Grossack. That he first took a diamond finesse, but then realized that he couldn't just cash the king of diamonds, or play the king of diamonds to try and pull trumps. He needs to get the spades going, because otherwise the opponents could play 3 rounds of spades, forcing the jack of diamonds to take a trick. Well, we got 2 rounds of spades. Probably going to see a 3rd round, but will let Zach... Oh, never mind, Queen of Hearts. I was going to say a 3rd round of spades would let Zach ruff with the Queen of Diamonds, and then later take a finesse. So 9 tricks, small swing to Lebowitz. Just 2 imps. And 1 board to go. And how much do they need on that 1 board? They need 49 imps to tie the match. Like, from a technical perspective, you can only score 24 imps on a board. So they're gonna need Meckstroth and Zia to have 25 imps worth of penalties on this last board, in addition to scoring over 4,000 points difference. I think they can probably pull it off. Let's wait and see. So the other room was in 3-0, making 10 tricks. 3-0 in the west, which means Zach and Michael are probably going to need their opponents to bid all the way up to like 7-0. They're probably going to have to redouble. And then they're going to need to go down like 6 or 7 tricks. Which I don't think is enough yet. Maybe we're going to need like 35-ish imps of penalties. that could be necessary. We get kind of a similar auction that we saw at one of the tables. A club, a heart, pass, and no trump. Notably, Zia did not make a negative double at this table over a heart. And I wonder if Mech is going to do anything over no trump. He doesn't. Probably very sensibly so. Right, he has an 18 count. He would love to bid. Like, technically doubling a no trump shows his hand. But you don't want to make a bid that shows your hand and gets you a bad result. That's just like blaming the system for your bad results. So especially given that East wasn't able to take any sort of action over heart, presumably with what looks like spade length, given that Jeff has a doubleton, he figures it's not their hand, and he's happy to just sell out to a no trump. So small swing to Lebowitz, but it's just not going to be enough. We will have Nickell versus Fleisher. I think a matchup that we've seen an awful lot in US Bridge at these trials. So 2 more days worth of play. We'll decide USA 2 for the upcoming cycle. And I don't know who I'd favor. Fleisher has had some pretty tough teams to go through, and they've prevailed against both of them. They had a very close match in the quarterfinals previously against Levin, where the only reason they won was because of some penalty imps that were assessed for slow play, I guess. But Nickell has some very strong players, obviously, on that team. Maybe my vote would be Fleisher. I think Fleisher has done quite well throughout. They appear to not be too burdened by the length of the matches or the difficulty of their opponents. They seem to be coming out ahead. Like this was a very strong team, and they kind of cruised to victory. Will I be streaming the final? Maybe. I'll definitely do some coverage of the final, but I don't know if I'm going to do all 4 quarters or all 4 quarters any day, or sorry, 4 segments any day. But yeah, I will try and stream a little bit tomorrow and probably a little bit on Monday, which I guess for you is like Monday and Tuesday, but for me it's like Sunday and Monday. So I'll probably do a little bit tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be like the same time. I have been getting dinner and then turning on stream to cover the last 2 segments each day, so maybe I'll do a little bit more of that tomorrow, or maybe I will stream a little bit earlier and then take the evening off. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the coverage for today's event. So here are the final results. We got Nickell winning a close match against Rosenthal, and then Fleisher winning pretty heftily against Lebowitz. Those will be the 2 teams in the finals tomorrow.